That world is a donut-shaped universe. It has no edge like the surface of a sphere. If you keep moving in one direction, you will eventually return to the place where you started. Space itself is looping. It is a closed, circular universe. And there is one more major feature. A gigantic hole runs through the entire universe. Everything inside that universe eventually falls into this hole of the world. Stars, light, matter, life, civilizations, even the space in which they exist slowly sinks toward the hole, but this is not simple destruction. Anything that falls into the hole passes through the inner side of the universe. After an unimaginably long journey, it emerges from the opposite end of the hole, reborn as new spacetime. While space is being pulled into the central hole of the donut-shaped universe, what once fell in is pushed back out from the other side. One side is the source, where spacetime wells up. The other side is the intake, where spacetime is swallowed back in. In this universe, space itself circulates like flowing water. The entire universe is moving as if a donut were endlessly turning itself inside out. When you enter that world, the two ends of the donut's hole appear as a black hole and a white hole. One side is a black hole that swallows everything. The other side is a white hole that releases everything. But they are nothing like the holes found in the universe we know. They are far larger, far deeper, and far more powerful. Their depth pierces through the universe itself. If you are swallowed by this bottomless black hole, you begin falling into the inner side of the universe. There, everything is compressed. Everything collapses. Everything breaks down into its most basic elements. Time, space, and even the physical laws and concepts that make up the universe begin to melt together. They merge and converge into a single point. And there, you see everything the universe once was. All the time that has ever flowed through the outer universe, all the space that once expanded there, and every event that ever happened within it. All of it unfolds before your eyes as one single vision. As you continue falling through the hole, you experience an immeasurable span of time, an immeasurable expanse of space, and the entire history of the past universe. And at last, when you reach the deepest point, the very concept of space begins to melt away. All existence begins to become one. Just as our universe may have begun from a single point, here, everything moves in reverse. It all merges and returns to a single point. And then, at the moment when everything is about to become smaller than the smallest possible point, at the moment when the size of the world is about to reach absolute zero, at the moment when existence itself is about to become complete nothingness, the world reverses as if it has bounced back. Contraction turns into expansion. Space rapidly spreads out from a single point, and along with it, everything begins to reconstruct itself. You have passed beyond the bottom of the black hole and entered the bottom of the white hole. Around you, differences begin to appear between concepts. The laws of physics unfold and the elements begin to form matter once again. This is the second half of the donut's hole, the path toward birth. What exists here is spacetime that will one day flow out into the outer universe. In other words, this vision is the future form of the universe. Until this point, you have seen the entire past of the universe. But from here onward, you begin to see the future, future space, future time, and every event that will one day happen in the universe, a donut-shaped universe. To pass through the whole of that donut is an unimaginably vast journey. You are literally crossing through the world itself, and you will see everything engraved within it. Its past, its future, all of time, from the beginning of the universe to its end, all of space and every event that unfolds across that spacetime. Everything that has ever happened in this world, and everything that has yet to happen, you experience it all. You travel through the whole of this universe, and yet, no matter how endless it seems, this tunnel has an end. After a journey beyond measure, you have experienced the universe as a whole. And at last, you are released from the exit of the white hole into the outer world with everything you have seen reflected in your eyes. Now, you know the truth of the cosmos. You are reborn as an all-knowing existence. But this is not the end. Once something is released from the white hole, it is carried by the flow of space itself. Over an immense span of time, it travels around the outer edge of the universe. And eventually, it is swallowed by the black hole, once again returning to the hole. This place is one closed circuitry structure, space, time, matter. Everything is born from one side of the hole and returns to the other. Stars, life, and civilizations are formed along the way. Differences appear, shapes emerge, structures are built, then, eventually, they collapse. And in the end, at the center of the universe, everything returns equally to primordial form. Things with form, such as stars and life, are like fragiles appearing for a moment within this vast flow. Every existence is born, comes to an end, and is reborn in another form. Nothing can resist this flow. This great circulation repeats again and again forever. Civilizations rise on the donut-shaped stage, develop countless times, and are reset countless times. This universe is like a place where cosmic birth and cosmic collapse are happening at the same time. The Big Bang and the Big Crunch, as we would call them in our universe, are continually taking place through the single central hole. There is no complete end to this world. It is an endless circle. History has repeated itself again and again. Just as space has no edge and loops in the shape of a donut, history and events also loop inside this great circulation. And now, you too are part of that circulation. Carried by the flow of space-time, you travel through the whole of this universe again and again. Countless times you pass through the donut's hole, disappear, and are reborn. And each time you witness everything this world contains. Through those repetitions, you come to experience every path within the universe's countless branching histories. Every branch, every possibility, every history that could exist, and as you pass through all of them again and again, you eventually become, within this universe, something equal to an omniscient and omnipotent God. You now know that this universe has a hidden feature that clearly separates it from our own, a difference even deeper than its shape. It is the existence of a center. Our universe probably has no center. The idea of the center of the world does not exist as a real place, but in this universe it does. Because of its donut shape, that central point is not an imaginary concept. It exists physically as a real location within the universe. It is the boundary between the black hole and the white hole. In terms of place, it lies exactly at the center of the donut's hole. In terms of time, it is the threshold instant, where existence crosses from being through nothingness and into another form of being. That place is the singularity of this world. In mathematical terms, that place is like dividing existence by zero. It is positive infinity, and at the same time negative infinity, a single extreme point. At that one point, with the entire universe compressed into it, everything exists. And at the same time, with nothing yet begun to exist, it is complete nothingness. after all previous existence has collapsed, and before all future existence begins to take shape, only in that place, only in that instant, all rules disappear. Time, space, the laws of physics, causality, truth and falsehood, possibility and impossibility. Even the boundary that once separated them loses all meaning, the center point of the world. There, even the category of impossible acts does not yet exist. It is the only moment within the framework of this universe where no limitations exist, a moment of complete freedom. And that is the destination you are trying to reach. The path to that place lies at the exact midpoint of the journey through the donut's hole. It is the tiny instant between crossing the bottom of the black hole and entering the bottom of the white hole. A point passed through in absolute 0 seconds, an absolute zero distance, an extreme point that no existence should ever be able to observe. But now, as an omnipotent existence, you finally reach that perfect instant. There, nothing exists yet except you. Every concept has disappeared. Every possibility is open. And there, the thing you accomplished was only one. You let go of everything. And as a result, within this universe, you came to surpass even an omniscient and omnipotent God, because you had literally escaped the frame called the universe and beyond it. Beyond this universe, you move on to the next world. Your journey is even more eternal than the universe itself. A donut-shaped universe. Could such a universe really exist somewhere in reality? Or perhaps this is the true shape of our own universe. Maybe we are still only able to observe a small expanding region on the surface of the donut.